All right, everyone. You want to see the elephants? You want to see the giraffes? Maybe the panda, the tiger, the camel? Well, we're going back to zoo. Uh-oh. We're going back to the zoo, people. I don't know how old time you guys are, but like when Modern just started, at least, back in the Splinter Twin birthing pod affinity days, like these are really old-fashioned days, there was an archetype called Domain Zoo. And the main purpose of the card was to maximize what you could out of Tribal Flames, a red and 1 generic sorcery. Has Domain, Tribal Flames deals X damage to target creature or player where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. So for 2 mana, you can deal 5 damage. That's a burn player's dream. They wish they could do something like that. Back in the day, they could make it work with things like Wild Nikachu and so on, but, over time, as the removal got better, there seemed to be less of a reason to ever go this route. Especially since the mana base was really damaging, you would very often start the game off with Shock, Wild Nikachu, Fetch, Shock, and just be down to 50 in life. Not wherever you want to be in a lot of matchups. But we might be seeing, like, Mental Misstep maybe found the formula to bring this deck back. Now, it's very heavily in the Jund colors. People are like, oh, you're promoting a zoo deck, but look, it's just all the boring stuff. Dragon Rage Channeler and Ragavan and Scourge of the Skyclaves and Tarmogoyf might as well be a Jund deck. But we are playing with new cards like Territorial Kavu, which has Domain. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. So effectively like a second Tarmogoyf if you've got one of the Triomes out. This deck is playing with Triomes, right? It's playing with Triomes, right? This deck's not even playing with what is going on here? Okay, no Triome at all. Moving on. So it's going to be at least a 4/4 creature very, very often. Sometimes a 5/5 creature when it gets all the colors out. Wild Nikachu is just like, if you thought Dragon Rage Channeler was good enough, and of course Dragon Rage Channeler is way better than Wild Nikachu. We have extra Wild Nikachus in the form of Wild Nikachu. And it's also being upgraded with much better removal, like Prismatic Ending. And because we can go up to the full 5 in this deck, we are playing with blood. We got black, red, white, blue, green. Boom. We got them all. We've nailed all 5 colors in this deck. We can exile the big stuff. You can hit up Niv Mizzet if you want to. Lightning Bolt, Stubborn Denial, just a one of. Just randomly get him with that Stubborn Denial and Mishra's Bauble. I went 2 Rancor. I thought that was interesting spice. Doesn't look that good overall. Weak to Blood Moon? Of course. When you play a deck like this, you're just hoping no one's running Blood Moon in the metagame. Hey, every deck is weak to something. You gotta it's a give and take. And also just, you gotta leave yourself vulnerable sometimes. 2 more Stubborn Denial on the sideboard, 4 Force of Vigor. Lurrus of the Dream Den, that is a big, huge plus of this deck. You get to play with all these sweet creatures. And if they die, you can bring them back with the Lurrus. Veil of Summer, Chalice of the Void, Gut Shot, rest in peace. Remember, Chalice of the Void is to be played on 0. Most certainly in this archetype, you wouldn't want to play it on 1, because it would nail all your own cards. It would nail like almost, I don't know, what, 12 cards? No, more. It would hit 16 cards. So it's there for, like, Living End and also the Crashing Footfall decks. So, aggro Shell on the ground while trying to utilize Tribal Flames has been a long time since we've seen a deck like this. Or, like, it's tried to make Tribal Flames playable in Modern. And this list, by Mental Misstep, got 22nd place. Maybe if someone likes this type of archetype, they can take it up and also evolve it and maybe make it a deck in Modern. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting build. Worth noting in the Modern metagame. So, welcome everyone to the morning show. The most interactive stream for Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. And also, we could do deck list review. So if you got a 75 you'd like some feedback on, hey, submit it to us, and both myself and the coffee crew would love to give you that feedback. So brew up those cups of coffee, ladies and gentlemen. And let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for, what is it, February 23rd, 2021. I am your host, the Nikachu, the Merfolk Master, and good morning. Good morning, Bearer, First Doys, BHW, Dakota, Steven. First, I'm doing great. Great morning this morning. Frederick. Sam P. Morning. Chug Red Bull today instead. Hey, you want your Red... I got my coffee crew, and if you want your Red Bull, you go for Red Bull. Whatever keeps you awake. Doesn't sound healthy in the long run to have a Red Bull in the morning, but I guess once in a while is good. Matt Waz, Adrian, Corey, Mikey J, Direwolf MTG, Mareep, Cheese, MTG Ectoplasm, Chris, Adrian, Walter, Ronnie, Trevor, Just, Corey. Oh yeah, this deck will definitely be so weak to Blood Moon. Jack Torborg, I like the no triumph. It can be a 5/5 as soon as you attack if you have a slew of fetches anyway. No haste, so if it comes in as a 4/4 and dodges Bolt, what's the issue? True story. You know, if you dodge Bolt, which is one of the more popular removal spells, no big deal. No big deal at all. Well, now it's time to feed chubby meatballs. Time to give a shout out to the sponsors. FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week. Save 15% off all Tempest, Stronghold, and Exodus singles. So these are definitely big Commander players and also very key iconic cards like Sliver Queen. And if some of them felt like they were a little out of your price, you know, like I mean, everyone wants those nice cards, but you're like, this is like just a few $50 too much. Maybe that 15% off is the deal that you've been waiting for. And don't forget, you can use additionally coupon code Nikachu to get another 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And if that Domain Zoo deck speaks to you, you're like, yeah, I want to Tribal Flame someone for 5 damage. That 2 Tribal Flames, that's like 10 damage. Maybe you could try it out with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. Why buy jank decks when you can just rent them? Just rent the jank. So you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on all the social media channels. We've got people on Twitter. We've got people on Nikachu MTG streams on YouTube. But remember, if you're on YouTube, you can cheat the system with super chats. If you donate with a super chat, your question gets pushed straight to the top of my feed. Otherwise, the question mark thing works. Emerald Boy, good morning. Don't forget, I didn't forget the sponsor. We didn't forget the sponsor today. Fusion Gaming going to be happy. So, same with Mana Traders. You people just assume I'm just not going to remember. Spencer Ward, good morning. Domain Zoo, is this the new one which drops Sign of Draco to play Lurrus? Yes. I mean, you know what? It looks like... There's another thing about this list in that, like, a lot of people were trying Domain Zoo from the get-go, but they were forcing Sign of Draco and a bunch of other cards, and maybe Triumphs were wrong. Maybe Triumphs were wrong. But there's still, like, people recognize this. Territorial Kavu is good because you got, when it enters the whenever it attacks, you can discard a card. If you do draw a card, that's great. You know, the whole problem with a lot of these Zoo decks is eventually you run out of gas. Like, what are you going to do? But then if you can discard lands to draw potential gas, that's fantastic. And also it has main deck Graveyard Hate. Exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. So that's... Territorial Kavu is like Tarmogoyf with a lot of utility. But where to put it? What's the best shell? Maybe you just put in more like a 80% Jund-like shell. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure if Scourge of the Skyclaves is necessary, but you know, this I do believe in the Dragon Rage Channeler, Tarmogoyf, Territorial Kavu looking route. And still, like, if this deck got 22nd place, I don't really believe in Rancor at all. I mean, if Rancor wasn't good in a lot of other decks, it makes no sense that it'd be good here. So, I mean, this could at least be scrapped for either more Stubborn Denials or something else. So there's still a lot of room for innovation here. I think the problem with the original Zoo decks that came out of Modern Horizons 2 is that they were just clunky and stupid. They were just a little too... They weren't in the right direction. But they can be. We can right the ship. The ship we can steer it in the right place. Barbella Boa, espresso shots in the morning, bang energy at 12, and a couple more espresso shots in the evening. What's everyone else's routine? I personally am 1 cup of coffee. Just 1. If I have more than that, my brain will, like... Wait, it won't give me anything more, that's for sure. It only gives me something in the morning. I'm 1 cup of coffee, and I might have up to 2 green teas for the rest of the day. Oh, wow. You guys just have no faith in me anymore. No faith that I'm going to give the shout out to the sponsors. No faith at all. MTG waifu? Like, what do I think is my... what the... You gotta be more specific. Like, what do you think? Like, what's my favorite woman in Magic? In Magic lore? Well, I mean, I think the closest to a waifu is Tamio. If I were to be serious here. This is waifu material. All the social media, Friendster, Orkut, AOL chat. Do people still use that stuff? Like, isn't there... I'm pretty sure... What was the original Facebook? It was... Like, what was it before Facebook? There was some... Tamio's married. Oh, that's a problem. Damn it, she's taken already. Who's she married to? MySpace, that's right. Let's go take a look at MySpace. See if there's any MTG players on MySpace. MTG MySpace. Okay, like MySpace.com, MTG, new stuff soon. When was the last time this was updated? We're going on an adventure, people. We're like going back in time. MySpace, MTG, new stuff soon. Okay. It's got... This is the real MySpace, right? This thing is still kicking. That's crazy. So, like, you know, it's funny. They dominated, like, the social media space in their time. And then they just let Facebook take over. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if they just didn't properly monetize or what's going on here. Did they get bought out by something else? This sort of looks like a crappy Yahoo, or maybe a nicer looking Yahoo. We've really gone off the rails here. What's going on in Yahoo? As far as I know, Yahoo's only good for... Oh, they sort of changed up their site a little bit. It used to be really cluttered, and now it's still cluttered, but whatever. I think they're just good for finance these days. They don't care. No one else cares. No. MySpace who? Basically. Waifu material. Sarah Angel beta version. But she's an angel. Super iconic art. Sarah Angel. Very iconic. It reminds me, I can't remember the card name, but there was a few Magic arts that I saw back in the day that literally looked like a sketch. It really literally looked like a sketch, like not a final version. I know this is again off topic, but it was a sketch. It looked like a sketch. It didn't look like the final version of any art, and they used it as the art anyway. I'm guessing, like, I don't know, the guy just submitted... I don't know if it really was the final version, but, you know, back then, you know, it was the art was pretty loose. MySpace was sold to Fox? Interesting. Okay, Ben Lane, we had a discussion at my local game store. Would Force of Will break the modern format? In my opinion, no. I mean, I'm welcome to hear what you guys think. I don't, like, clearly Force of Negation did not break the modern format. Well, there is one thing about Force of Will that Force Negation is not, is that it can be used in the combo decks. So we might see a new era of combo. Combo decks these days, they gotta, like, sort of fiddle around and work around counterspells by playing at instant speed. But imagine, that would be a pretty big boost to Infect. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. Infect is, like, hurting pretty badly these days. But I really don't think Force of Will would break the format. I thought there was a chance we'd see Force of Will in Modern when they were going to make Modern Horizons 1. And they ended up giving us Force of Negation, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with Force of Negation, but Force of Will is a completely different beast. And maybe, who knows, maybe we still need Force... Maybe we still need... Force of Will. But what do you guys think? Force Will in Modern will break a lot of wallets. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's not Remember, it's not on the reserve list. They can reprint this a million times. Force of Will. Force of Negation. Meh. I'm willing to give Force of Will to blue, but give me Allosaurus Shepherd. You might get Allosaurus Shepherd even without us getting it. At least, well, it used to be uncommon back in the day. I remember getting Force of Will for, like... I bought them for $2. I lost them. I don't know what happened to my Force of Wills, but I had Force of Will for $2. Then I took a 10-year break from Magic. When I came back, Force of Wills were gone. I might have thrown them away because they're like, oh, it's just an uncommon. I'm not going to keep that. Or at least reprint Force of Will in uncommon. All right, that would... They would never do that because the card is obviously too strong. Like, what Force of Negation... Let's look at Force Negation here. It's like rare. Force Negation is rare and does less. Well, I mean, you could argue this is better because it exiles the spell, right? Oh no, it doesn't. Counter target non-creature spell. No, yeah. If it was countered this way, exile it. No more free spells. Oh, the other colors get free spells, and all of a sudden blue wants a free spell. Or no, we're going overboard here. Oh, you don't give blue too much. Force of Will would hurt a lot, in my opinion. Free spells are generally bad news, and countering creatures is a big difference. How would it hurt? You mean hurt a lot for other people? Look, it's not a proactive free spell. The free spells that are the most dangerous are the ones that are proactive, that are beating your head in. The ones that are reactive are not so bad. Don't throw away your cards unless you need the space. Well, there is no... Are you trying to, like, compare it to, like, income? Or investing? Anyway. I think it would be fine. I think, in my opinion, it would be fine. It would help some decks, for sure. But not everybody. It would not help everyone. Are we still on the Japanese Narsa? Are we still on the waifu discussion? Oh yeah, she's a beauty. Ugh. I don't want to click. I'm gonna cheat. Oh, you can't. You guys can't see what I'm seeing. They won't let me click on this thing without, like, making a profile. But I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna zoom in! Oh, they got me there too. No, they didn't. We got it. I solved it, people. My hacks. Yeah, she's a cutie as well. Everyone's showing off their favorite waifu. I heard there is a website where... this was like an article, I think, on some other site, talking about the worst sites on the internet. There is a site where people... You are people would have their own, like, dolls that they take care of, and then they act like the doll on the internet and brag about how great their man is to them and how well they're being taken care of. If you understand, I don't know if I explained that properly. There are these, I guess, these elaborate dolls that you can buy, and then there's a website exclusively for the dolls, but of course the owner of the dolls are, you know, on the website, like on this forum, and they just brag about how good their man is to them. Let's see. RG, I've had some really good success with Amuletite in my local game store. Even beat Red Prison yesterday 2-0. Why doesn't it see more play? Am I just lucky? No, I mean, Amuletite is still a deck. It's still a very, very good deck. So there's nothing particularly wrong with Amuletite. But there might be enough answers for it that, like, people just don't want to play it. That's all. It's not completely overpowering the format, and I think when people like Amuletite, it's because, like, nothing can beat it. It's just demolishing everything. But it's still a deck. It's still a deck. I think it is a very adaptive deck. I think it's a very powerful deck, and if you find a success with it, keep going with it. Sampy, should I sell my Ragavans I pulled or just throw them in a binder and forget about them? So are you going to use them or what? Are you going to use them or what? That's the question. If you have any intention of using it, use them. Keep them. Hold on to them. If you have no intention of using them, like, I'd personally just cash it in and get something else that I want. Like, that's what it comes down to. I think whenever I pull a big money card and I'm like, I'm not going to use this, I just sell it now. Like, there's so many other cards I would rather own that I would sell the damn thing. But if you think you have any shot of playing with this card, like, it would suck to sell it now, and then even 6 months from now, you're like, I want to play this deck, and it needs Ragavan. I wish I didn't sell my Ragavans, you know what I mean? So, in that case, if you think you have any shot of just hold on to the card. Mikey J, MTG Waifu, Monastery Swift Spear, everything else is wrong. People are passionate about your MTG waifus. I didn't know this was such a discussion. Maybe I gotta make a dedicated video about this. Top 10 MTG waifus. Narset, Monastery Swift Spear. All of a sudden I see this, my Tamio suggestion was dead wrong. Oh yeah, this Torborg says, when you can easily answer a 6 mana threat for 1 mana at instant speed, something is seriously wrong in the direction of removal spells being insanely flexible, efficient, and strong. Well, I mean, hey, you need Delirium first. So they're talking about Unholy Heat. The Titan players must be like, oh my god, this heat is unholy. Alright, Javier, will eventually every deck turn into a Lurrus deck, even Eldrazi? Probably not. There'll be a crappy Eldrazi deck. Well, you got Endless One, Eldrazi Mimic, some other puny things. Love the list, but isn't Nikachu a little underwhelming in 2021? That's probably true. Like, maybe that's cuttable. Snakeskin Veil instead of Rancor? No, that's just like the instant protection card, right? Oh, like, I'm not a fan of that card either. Yeah, I don't like this card. We have better things to do than protect the creature. I mean, at the very least, I would use Veil of Summer, but that's not even a good main deck card either. Asylum Visitor is good for modern vampires. It has potential. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So it has potential. I wouldn't say it's good, though. I don't know. Maybe in the right deck it can work. Non-love with it. You know, 3 power is not too bad. Like, it's not really resistant to removal. It doesn't have any strict ETB. You could Madness it into play, but, you know, it's hard to use. You need to have a Madness outlet. Ryan Forsey, is Mono Blue Tron viable at the moment with Karn sideboard? Absolutely. I think it's playable without the Karn sideboard. Mono Blue Tron is just it's a super playable deck. Very underrated. Probably because it's hard to play. It's hard to play this deck. It's very control-like. Very, very, very control-like. It's like mono blue control, which has very little removal. You have access to a ton of mana. So it's a weird control deck. Okay, now you guys are like what you drink in the day. Sugar-free energy drinks. What are those? I didn't even know those even existed. You know, I like energy. Well, do you know what? I don't like energy. Here's the thing. Is there like an energy drink out there that's sugar-free and no carbonation? Like, I would love Red Bull, but the carbonation kills it for me. The only thing I like carbonate is like Coke and Pepsi. MTG Ectoplasm, 1 cup of coffee and Viagra. Hey, everyone needs their own thing, and I appreciate the transparency, the open honesty here. You know, we're all friends here, we're all us coffee crew, we're all friends. No judging. You better believe I'm going to be using Viagra when I get old. Everyone has problems, and there is a solution to all the problems these days. Trevor's like, oh, what is the sugar-free energy drink, though? Yeah, I'm gonna look up Elvish Ranger. Which one? Oh, I know which one. This one. Oh, what hard work I've done all day. What hard work. Why are you a cute boy? I was born this way. I was born beautiful. Yeah, MTG waifu. I'm Nikachu. Sugar-free means aspartame. Bad choice. I'm not a fan of aspartame either. Right, Rio. Hey, Nikachu, have you ever tried the peasant format? 5 uncommons, rest commons. Popular in France and Germany. I have not tried it. I haven't even tried, like, 93, 94. I've fantasized some decks in my head, but it's too many formats out there for me. But that's a good... It is a blessing and a curse that there are so many, like, there's so many communities in Magic. As a content creator, I have found that, like, one community is so separate from another community. There can be overlap, but you can get people so passionate about one subject and then very uninterested in another just because they're in a completely different world. Like those pauper people, they're living some life that I don't see. Sugar-free usually means aspartame, and aspartame is a byproduct of E. coli bacteria. Oh well. You know, truth be told, I drank a lot of, like, diet soda when I was growing up. I'm a product of a lot of aspartame. I am the embodiment of aspartame. Keith Stoltz, my mono black mid-range Turok deck has Thoughtseize and Inquisition to help buff him. Should I add the card Black Cat to help? Is it hidden OP or garbage? Can I get your here's the deal on it? Well, I'll tell you what, like, if you... Hold on, what's Black Cat? Black Cat is the cat you sack? Oh. I think this is a little underwhelming. It's incredibly underwhelming. It's 2 mana for a 1/1 creature. When it dies, target opponent discards a card at random. So it's situational when it dies. I don't think this is good at all. It's awful. Let's look at Turok again. Turok! When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. Pro white. Whenever an opponent discards a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Turok Dread Cantor. You'd probably just be better off with Liliana the Veil. Like, if you wanted to guarantee someone's, like, discarding a card, Liliana the Veil is there for you. That's a constant discard outlet. Or even Raven's Crime. Like, you can force your opponent to discard cards, and you can use the retrace. You can discard a land for this. So you turn all your lands into Raven's Crime. I think that's the best way to pump up your Turok if you want to. But not with the kitty. Kitty don't work. When it dies, it's not even when it enters the battlefield, it's when it dies. So you can't, like, let's say you attack with the Black Cat and they don't block. Well, okay, well, I take 1 damage, you know, so it's not going to do what you think it's going to do. Good question, though. You got to experiment. You got to ask these questions. You never know what's going to happen. RG, also a local game store discussion. LOL, is Field of the Dead safer to unban with Uro and Mystic Sanctuary gone? I want to say yes. I don't even think Mystic Sanctuary is even a deal. Okay, no, here's one deal. Primeval Titan still exists. So if you banned Uro and Primeval Titan, I think Field of the Dead super safe to unban. But with Primeval Titan still in the game, no. Because they can win the game just by... Like, let's talk about the Unholy Heat thing. So you play Primeval Titan, you get the Field of the Dead in another land. Then your opponent plays Unholy Heat on your Primeval Titan, but who cares? Because now you just make land drops. Several land drops with Dryad the Elysian Grove and, like, Azusa or Explorers or whatever. And you just kill your opponent with a zombie army. I mean, that's just how it goes. Even when you dealt with the Primeval Titan at the time, it wasn't enough. Field of the Dead was just too strong by itself. Like, the damage is done once the Primeval Titan hits the battlefield, so I think it would be safe with Uro and Primeval Titan banned that you could unban Field of the Dead. But with Primeval Titan in the format, we gotta probably have to keep Field of the Dead on the ban list. Blue 1, Force of Stifle would be good. You mean like so you pitch a blue card to play it for free? It might be OP. Like, you know, pitching 2 cards to stifle one of your opponent's land drops, and like on the play they have no idea that you're playing, because it's like a Stone Rain, right? Now, mind you, there's not that, you know, there's not a million fetch lands in a format, but if someone went like turn 1 fetch and you Stone Rain them, that'd be ridiculous. That'd be really backbreaking. MTG waifu Emrakul. What kind of porn are you watching, Casper? Casper likes the tentacle-looking stuff. Just chugs coffee till the stomach hurts. Celsius energy drink is great. Oh, I answered this one. Torborg says they used to sell an energy drink here in the US called cocaine that you had to be 18 or older to buy back when I was in junior high school. Wasn't exactly sugar-free, but man, was it popular. Man, probably for a reason. Well, I think this is true. Coca-Cola used to be made with cocaine, hence why it's called Coca-Cola. But of course, at some point, they had to remove that ingredient. Our customers are so addicted to our product. I wonder why. Oh no, we're going to get regulated. How about best MTG husbando? Leave that all to you to decide. Madius, are we ever going to see Spreading Seas like effects on Arena? Maybe, probably. Yeah, probably. Probably it'll show up eventually. Just not yet. But Golos plus Field would break the game still? Maybe, yeah. What does Golos do? Golos doesn't really see any play in Modern. Why don't we see you in Modern? And there's the battlefield. Search your library for a land card. Only one land card put onto the battlefield. Tap, then search your library. Then shuffle your library. This is not nearly as devastating as Primeval Titan, though. It's only one land, so you could still be short by a turn to get the field online. So this, I mean, it might be as dangerous, but you know, I have my doubts. But it is also 5 mana, so it's easier to cast than a Primeval Titan. True, cocaine and coke. Yes, that's right. The original. Maybe that's why Coca-Cola never talks about their original winning recipe, because they can't. Buy our original, because you know, a lot of products like to talk about we haven't changed the recipe in over 100 years because we don't need to. But Coca-Cola can't say that. Just a little some info out there for all of you. I am a Coke person, not a Pepsi person. I drank Pepsi for the first like 22 years of my life, then I made the switch and I didn't go back. Something about Coke is just a little bit better. I've been able to enjoy it a little bit better, and I have not gone back ever since. I mean, I'll drink Pepsi at like KFC if that's the only thing I have available, but I mean, if you give me the choice, I will choose Coke in the Pepsi challenge. Which one's better? Coke. Jose Sunstrom with the super chat. Thank you very much for the €5. Hello. Surprised by lack of zombie top 5s in Modern. Demir with Champion and Soul Diviner and Geralf's Messenger and Plague Belcher. It seems good. You know what? I just don't think people are trying it enough. There's a lot of other cards people want to try. Like, people are more excited about the Murktide decks. Maybe I will try this weekend. Like, we'll start experimenting with zombies. Like, maybe we can start experimenting with zombies or something. And I'll definitely not have the right list off the bat, but I mean, zombies definitely has big potential, especially with the invention of Champion of the Perished. What is it? It's not on here. Champion of the Perished. The sequel to Champion of the Parish. He's perished now. I think he can make a big impact. I think he could make a big impact, especially since a lot of zombie deck zombies has a lot of 1-drops. They don't have a lot of 2-drops, but they have a ton of 1-drops. So this Champion of the Parish can get big really fast. Coke and Mentos equals boom. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos regarding that. MTG Husbando, the cursed guy. Richard Garfield. Isn't Dak Vaden the best MTG husband? I don't know. It's up to you guys. I will not weigh in on this discussion. I've never thought about this. Witherfong says Ral Zarek. This guy has a lot of confidence, I'll tell you that. He looks good for his age. Especially, I mean, how old is Ral Zarek? I mean, he's got the gray hair, so I'm guessing he's in his 40s, 50s or something like that. He's no young sprite, but he's looking good for his age. Stays in shape. Pepsi tastes better in small amounts. Coke tastes better in larger amounts. Never thought about that. Check out Doomwake's recent zombie list for inspiration/starting point. He has a great clean list so far and can only get better. And look, Doomwake zombies. Sacrificing zombies for value. Just have to get through this ad. And we'll just wait for the ad to clear up. Technically, the husbando is Kenrith, since Kieran Yanner used his husband as the model. Okay, so what do we got here? Is this really a zombies list? This is like black red zombies. Kieran Feeder, Champion of the Parish, Gravecrawler, Stitcher Supplier. So black red for Goblin Bombardment, Bloodghast. Oh yeah, it does have the Grolf's Messenger. Well, this is very close to this other deck that we saw the other day, wasn't it? It's very close to this Mayhem Devil thing. Although I also suggested to put the Grolf's Messengers in the 3-drop slot. It looks very, very close. Yeah, maybe we could try this. But this feels less... This is more like zombie sacrifice than zombie tribal. Like the Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil Goblin Bombardment. It's trying to take advantage of the fact that you can bring back zombies, but this actually feels a lot less like Bloodghast isn't a zombie, it's a vampire, so I wouldn't consider this zombies at all. I may not start there, only because it's like an aristocrats deck. More aristocrats than anything else. Yes, tragic. I am begging for the merfolk champion of the parish. Wizard Coast Prince is zombie champion. I'm super sad face. What would it have to be, like champion of the depths? You have gray hair, but you're not in your 40s. I'm not. That's true. No, I'm aging in my hair faster because of all the stress I get from games. I will admit, like, I started getting gray hair when I was 17 years old when I started playing chess. That is a really intense game that will put gray hair on your head. Then I stopped playing chess and the gray hair went away. Then I got back into chess, gray hair came back. Coincidence? I think not. Chess is intense. Really intense. Pepsi is a better mixer than Coke. That's why I prefer Pepsi. Maybe that's how Pepsi has to promote themselves. We are a better mixer. Mix us in your whiskey and all this other stuff. Best husbandos, the 2 kings on Guardians of Meletus. Guardians of Meletus. I see. Hold on. Guardians of... I spelt it wrong a little bit. I got it. Here we go. The statues. The super husbandos. MTG husbando Daddy Garrick. He just smashed his way to planeswalking. What a Chad. Will your hair become a chessboard? No, I'm not going to be one of those people who like shave their heads into like some sort of, I don't know, picture or something. Ralzeric is actually around his early 30s. Then he's living a very stressful life to put so much gray hair on his head. Planeswalking isn't easy, despite what people think. Brandon Ortez. Building an E-Tron on a budget and was wondering if I could get away with one copy of Chalice in my sideboard, at least at F&M, until I can buy the rest. Yes, you could. I think you could do that. That's fine. Just live without them for the meantime. I know they're costly. They cost money. Going up, they're not going down. Let's go to our most unreliable source for card prices. Chalice of the Void at mtgstocks.com. Not sponsored. I wonder if you could get sponsorship from a site like... Oh my god, it just skyrocketed out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I told people to buy it around here. You buy on the dip. You gotta always buy on the dip for Chalice of the Void. That's money. Gonna have to deal with one. One is fine. One is always more than... One is better than none. And the rest of the deck is still pretty strong anyway. In the plays that Chalice of the Void, play more removal because you are a clunky deck, so you need to be able to bridge the gap between the early game and the late game. And Chalice of the Void participated in that in the way, but now it doesn't. So you just have to play. I think you should just play with more removal. Read the flavor text to the Guardians of Melites. It's got a lot. All right, so hold on. We're going to read the flavor text. Defender. The histories speak of two feuding rulers whose deaths were celebrated and whose monuments symbolize the end of their wars. In truth, they were peaceful lovers, their story lost to the ages. Whoa! What a plot twist. The husbandos of husbandos. They were lovers all along. You should get in contact with Keeps for sponsor. But I don't use them. That's the problem. I don't use them. I like to promote stuff that I use. I do use a hair medication. For all I know, they have it. So if I can't get it from anywhere else, then I guess I could get it from them. It's so weird though, promoting, like, while I may use them, like, is that something I really want to promote? It feels so off. Like, I don't mind promoting stuff that's on brand, but that feels so off brand in a way. There's actually a computer sponsor that got in contact with me like 3 months ago. I should actually get back to them because I wouldn't mind actually promoting them either. Because hey, if you want to get on if you want to play on MTG Arena or play Magic the Gathering online worth a damn, you need a new computer. You need better computer parts. But I don't know if you need a full head of hair. Go into F&M with confidence with a full head of hair versus all those people who are balding. The truth is you just got to be confident no matter how much hair is on your head. But Nikachu's not like that. Nikachu need the hair. We got to keep what we got here. We got to keep what we have. But that's another heads up. You know, I always thought like all the hair medications were bullshit. It didn't work. It's a big scam. It works. It actually does work. The preventative stuff is real. If you're completely full on bald, well, you're sort of screwed there. But the preventative stuff is actually real. So if you're young and baldness is in your family, there's hope to keep your hair. Not endorsing Keeps, but like just saying that those options are not a scam. I thought they were a scam. And I was like, ah, this is all a scam. Why don't they talk about this more? Why do they have to promote it in such a stupid, scammy way? Francisco says, I don't know why, but I just can't get in the zombies bandwagon. I might try slivers or cats. Well, you don't have... I mean, you play the tribe you want to play. I mean, I never played zombies, really. I just stuck with merfolk. That's all I did. They were roommates. Stock check-in. Arclight's buy list went from $4 to $4.50 to $5.50 on Card Kingdom this week. It's on the move. Yeah, but it can go up and then down in an instant. Ooh, actually, that's a bit of a spiky spike. This is getting more serious. What is it in ticks, though? $10 now. As a balding guy, balding people are funny to me. It's okay to be bald. There's nothing wrong with being bald. I was also willing to just go in that direction. I had accepted it when I was a kid, more or less. I didn't like it, but I accepted it. But then I found out it doesn't have to be that way. I would be like basically bald by now if I didn't take any action. I needed to take action. And some of the viewers noticed. It's like they compared me to some older videos. Nikachu, are you doing something? What are you doing? It's working. You look great. I know I look great. Nightbot isn't saying I'm in the queue for review. We'll keep trying. As long as you use the command properly, it should work. Ugh, I want to answer a few more questions. We gotta move on, people. If you got questions, you gotta bring it up tomorrow because it's Decklist review time. We only have so much time, people. So this is the moment. Yeah, that's right. You know what time it is? It's Decklist review time. So if you've got a list you'd like to share with myself and the coffee crew, go into my description. There is a link to my Discord. Join my Discord, and you'll be eligible at random. At random, people. Oh, you have to go into the channel Decklist review. Go to the channel Decklist review. Enter the command !review deck space. Give the URL to your decklist, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist review. What the hell is this? Don't spam. You're gonna get kicked. Do you wear a watch? I wear an Apple Watch. I have myself an Apple Watch. I used to have a Kinetic watch. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and then slowly but surely it just stopped working, and I didn't feel like. All right, we gotta get rid of people here. We're under attack. We're under attack again. They're coming to get us, people. We are too popular here. Anyway, Decklist review. So you'll be eligible at random. Yeah, begone, demon. Spam boys. We're gonna hand out those bans. We're gonna hand it out like crazy, like candy. Everyone check out. I don't know what it is. Yeah, Robo attack. Them Robos. They're getting us at a good time. It would have been annoying earlier. Why can't, like... there's got to be some there should be some automatic ban for anyone who says the exact same message more than once consecutively like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man versus... This is classic man versus machine in the future. Hopefully we have enough mods to deal with that as if the people come, you just fucking hand out the ban. You just ban the shit out of them. Okay, so hold on, we're gonna go look at some deck lists. Alright, Rep Gnar. Congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist review. I don't know how to filter out the spammers somehow. I mean, this should be something built into YouTube. I'm surprised they haven't figured it out already. Here we go again. Don't we have enough? I thought I had more, what's it called? Oh, I'm trying. Difficult to moderate while working on a phone. Figured that we had more, what's it called? Moderators. First Doise is working on it. Excellent. Okay. So, okay, so modern zombies post Midnight Hunt. We've got by Repnar, we have a Carrion Feeder, Champion of the Parish, Crypt Breaker, Gravecrawler, Jadar, Goo-Caller of Nephalia. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create the 2/2 creature with Decayed. That's an interesting card to see how that's going to work out. Tide Hollow Sculler, Undead Augur, Diagraph Colossus. Oh, didn't I pick this one already? Or is this an adjusted one with Fatal... This is very similar to the last one, but I guess it's different enough. Fatal Push, Thoughtseize. This is very different. New cards. Cavern of Souls, Concealed Courtyard, Godless Shrine, Marshflat, Swamp. No Cyber... Okay, so my first thing is... Now, this isn't a... You have one simple switch. Get rid of the Tide Hollow Sculler. There is no way splashing entire color for a card that's not even that good in this deck is worthwhile. The apocalypse in the Matrix starts with spamming. Now I understand all the other people who are under attack in the, what's it called? In the, we're going, well, I don't know if Twitch would even help because there are a lot of attacks on Twitch as well. Okay, I think this person is responsible. Are you a mod? Let's see, how do we get rid of these people? You'd rather splash red for Bolt and Zombie Bombardment? I wouldn't, honestly. Okay, well, I mean, you could do that. You could do that for Bolt and Zombie Bombardment. It's not terrible. But I would... Well, how many recurable sources of creatures do you have? Because if you have... I guess the... What's it called? Hold on, you mean Zombie Bombardment or Goblin Bombardment? I think you mean Goblin Bombardment. Yeah, so I think you mean Goblin Bombardment. It's not a terrible idea. You can take out Tide Hollow Sculler for sure. And you can sack things like the creature that had Decay and Geralf's Messenger and also our Gravecrawler. So that's not terrible. I guess you could replace Fatal Push with maybe Lightning Bolt. But by default, splashing an entire color for one creature is not worth it. I don't even think this creature has a lot of synergy with the deck. So I would rather you just not play it at all, period. So just don't play this card. What you would replace it with, you could just fill in the gaps. Like, this is 4 cards. You could put a fourth, let's see. Well, I mean, you would take out 4 creatures going down to 30. I don't think that's terrible. You could replace it with a Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Undead Augur, and maybe one more land. Going to 21 lands might be important in this deck because you have a few 3-drops. And I think you want to hit those cards on curve, and 20 lands is just not enough. So if I were to do it, I would take out the 4 Tide Hollow Sculler and fill up the slots. I mean, this is the easy way of doing it. I would put at least one more land in, personally. Do you have any other way to draw a card? Well, you could draw cards with Crypt Breaker. I might be underestimating this. I don't know how to ban these accounts. So we have to like just temporarily ignore them. I just gotta dig. I mean, what the easy thing is, it's easy to find your guys' names. Replace Tidehowler with Belcher, maybe? Maybe. That's not a bad idea. I like Plague Belcher a lot. Whenever another zombie you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. This is a really effective card. So I don't mind that at all. But that would be about it. Don't splash an entire color for 1 card. The thing is, like, if this card is so vulnerable anyway, your opponent's just gonna get the card back. I don't think it's that necessary. You might as well just put more faith and thought into Thoughtseize. You don't have a sideboard, but I think this would be a perfectly fine start to just remove. Like, you have a fine deck list. I think the deck list is pretty strong. I wouldn't splash an entire color for this 1 card. It usually you'll take more damage and make your like mana base more clunky than you would think. Like, you're fetching and sometimes shocking for way more damage than you would like, and you're more vulnerable to Blood Moon than you would like. And also, if you get rid of it, you can start looking at what's called the Castle Lothwain instead as a source of card draw. Picture not showing up. But the point is, if you're not splashing the color, you have access to these utility lands like this. You hate Thoughtseize? Well, you need some interaction for combo decks, and I don't mind Thoughtseize. Because the comments are bugged, he can run Corpse Knight and Wayward Servant to keep white. No, I don't think you want to keep white, though. I don't think you want to keep white, honestly. You just want to gut the white. I think it's more of a hassle than... I think it's way more of a hassle than anything else. And I'm not a fan of the white zombies overall. I don't think they're really that great. Anyway, I hope that suggestion is some use to you. And we're gonna develop zombies coming into the next month. We're gonna see what happens with zombies. Alright, Feral. We've got... actually, this is Greg something. Black-white Asmaranimator. Oh, I get it. So you're playing with Asmarano and with some sort of Reanimator package. So Asmarano, Priest of Fell Rites, Oval Chase Daredevil, Street Wraith, Sarah's Emissary, Archon of Cruelty, Terastodon, Profane Tutor, Bone Shards Persist, Unmarked Grave, Unburial Rites, and the Underworld Cookbook. Right off the bat, the biggest addition to the Asmarano deck was playing 4 Oval Chase Daredevils to combo with your Underworld Cookbook, because this is the card that really fuels the engine to make like millions of food tokens. So I would definitely try to push. If you're playing with Asmarano and the Underworld Cookbook, I would play 4 Oval Chase Daredevil for sure. So you have to take out 2 other cards. And I don't mind this sort of, like, Asmarano is like a combo in itself. I reported him, so hopefully his YouTube channel gets deleted. Yeah, but like probably has like a million YouTube channels. It's probably just make another one. It is a fun deck. Imagine not having 200 subscribers. Oh, Jose suggested for the last deck, Splash Blue, go 4 Vile, Champion Gravecrawler, Carrion Feeder, Soul Diviner. I guess that's possible too. But if they didn't splash blue themselves, I don't think they wanted to go blue, because that's a very different zombie deck. I don't mind going blue. Why don't you have us submit only zombie brews all next week? Well, I can't guarantee Well, not everyone likes to make zombie decks. Please explain the combo. All right, the combo is this. It's a Reanimator deck. You want to get creatures in the graveyard like Sarah's Emissary and Archon of Cruelty in the graveyard with something like Unmarked Grave. Search your library for a non-legendary card, put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Then you can bring it back with either Persist, return target non-legendary card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We can bring back Terastodon, Archon of Cruelty, Sarah's Emissary. Or we use Priest of Fell Rites to do the same thing. Tap, pay 3 life, sacrifice it, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And you can also unearth the Priest of Fell Rite to do it all over again. And also have Unburial Rites, which is sort of nice. So you can like Unmarked Grave, Unburial Rites into your graveyard. So I like, and you have Profane Tutor, so you can find any copy of whatever card that you need. So I'm a fan of this whole... I'll tell you what I would do differently, maybe. I would... Okay, I don't know for sure. I don't mind playing these two things in the same deck, because they have some utility, like Asmarano with the Cookbook, is it lets you discard your graveyard combo cards. But I do want to have the option... Or maybe we don't need so many Daredevils, because we're discarding these other things at the same time. But I still think you want as much of this as possible, so you can just go all in on Asmarano if you have... Because Asmarano can win the game by itself, right? The chat is back. Can you make slow chat? I cannot. I do not have those powers. Oh, that's sick. Unmarked Grave can also put Oval Chase Daredevil in the yard, so no need to play 4X in the league. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. I'm wondering, do we... This is a pretty cool list. It's Reanimator. And it's cheap! It's like $100. This is a very interesting list. Maybe we're gonna play this on Saturday. Maybe we're gonna play this on Saturday. Because I said, if I see a very interesting, unique list, maybe I'll play it in for like one game. Holy crap, we have a huge super chat. Maximus! Love all the streams, Nikachu. I can watch a lot more live streams nowadays since turning my TCG side hustle into a business. Oh, nice. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much, Maximus. What's your business? I'll give you some free advertisement here. Nice logo. Or maybe this is how you're advertising yourself. Turn those side hustles into a real business. Out of spite, I've reported his channel. They attacked us, we attacked them back! Imagine thinking that's how you get big on YouTube. Spam other YouTube channels for the subs. That's how everyone did it. That must have been how PewDiePie did it. Splashing blue for Faithful Mending looks good here. That's too many colors. Oh no, it's only a 2-color deck. I thought it was a 3-color deck first, or maybe it is a 3-color deck. It has a Temple Garden. Oh, I guess they're trying to maybe cast a Terastodon if the game goes long enough. I think the creature, like, I mean, Platinum Empyrean is not that good of a card. It looks good, but there's like a lot of answers. Like, they could just kill the Platinum Empyrean. There's probably some reason to put it in the sideboard, though, if you really know the opponent can't deal with that card. Yeah, thank you, mods. The mods are good. Is this a Magic Aids list? Maybe it is. So here's the question. Do we put more oval... Maybe we don't need to put more Oval Chase Daredevils in this list based on how this is constructed, because the Oval Chase... I mean, you can get Oval Chase Daredevil through Unmarked Grave. Although I don't know if that's how I want to use my Unmarked Grave. That's not very mana efficient. That's not very cash money. Like, you play the what is it? Asmarano to get the Underworld Cookbook, then you need to get Unmarked Grave. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Oval Chase Daredevil from your graveyard to your hand. There's not that many artifacts here, either. It's just the Underworld Cookbook. I want to say I want to remove some of these creatures, but I also know that... Do we need Street Wraith? Like, is that... Oh, yeah, we need it for Asmarano. Of course. We need it for Asmarano. I don't know. There's got to be something we can cut. Maybe even Profane Tutor. But I imagine the Profane Tutor is also a pretty useful card in this deck list. Like, the numbers feel off. And I understand we're trying to jam two different sort of strategies together, even though some of them have some overlap with each other. Welcome, Amber. You came at a good time. Why Bone Shards? Bone Shards... You can discard creature cards from your hand. So it's a removal spell while also enabling your combo, because you can just discard a creature. Can you show the Domain Zoo list again? We've got it here. Give you 5 seconds. Take a snapshot. Screenshot it or something. And it'll be available in the replay, by the way. We talk about it at the beginning. Well, I mean, they have a blue card in the sideboard, but it's, they're not casting with blue mana. I don't think there's a single blue source in this deck. Nah, there's not a single blue source in this deck. Well, let's look at the mana base. Is the mana base good? Arid Mesa, Pathway, Castle Lothwain, which is probably clunky because you're not playing with that many swamps. Like, what do you even need the colorless mana here for? Is like the main deck real and the mana base budget? Like, it looks like it's a pure budget mana base. There's not many fetch lands being run here. But truth be told, you look at the deck, it's like black, 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 black. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. You just need a little bit of white for the Priest of Fellow Rights, and that's it. So really, it should be... there should be 4 Marsh Flats for sure. This is just weird. There should be 4 Marsh Flats and 1 less Verdant Catacombs. And probably should be no Temple Gardens. What is the Temple Garden for? There's like... Is there another green source anywhere in here? Oh, the Indatha Triumph. Okay, so there is a chance that you can hard cast a Terastodon. The Triumph is green. I could share the deck list review music. Sorry, I don't have... Like, right now what's playing is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sorry, Gourmet Race from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. 64. Smash Bros. 64. I don't have a lot of faith in Demigod of Revenge. I think this is a bit clunky. Because you need to cast it. When you cast Demigod of Revenge, return all cards from named Demigod of Revenge from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's not really to the point. So, okay, I'm not going to argue with the main deck, but I will argue with the side, with the mana base. You should have 4 Marsh Flats. Marsh Flats can find your Temple Garden and your Indatha Triome anyway. And probably this Caves of Koilos should be something else. Because this deals damage to you. There's no point to this thing. And then the sideboard is... whatever. You know, Inquisition is probably fine. Nihil Spellbomb is fine. Prismatic Ending is fine. Dam, Fracture. Phyrexian Revoker. Lingering Souls seems unnecessary. Like, what are you bringing this in against? That you just need 1 Lingering Souls. Yeah, maybe we can have... I don't know. Ashen Rider is like a legacy type card. But I will admit that we could have what was suggested. Platinum Empyrean could probably be one of these. So we have Sphinx of the Steel Wind. I don't know which matchup this is going to be super important against. Red and from green. So that hits. I guess that kills Jund. Like, Jund can't beat this card. Unless they edict it with, like, Liliana the Veil. Alright, so they can beat it a little bit. And Chancellor of the Annex. You may reveal this card. This one's, I guess, is okay. But I would cut the Lingering Souls for something else. This is completely useless. Maybe for another Dam. I think Dam is a good card. You can, like, wipe the board. Removal while wiping the board. But for the most part, I think it's a very interesting list. Actually, I think it's really cool. I like the idea of jamming the Reanimator package with Azmarano at the same time. Because they work with each other. They have some synergy. Do I intend on playing more Historic? Yes. I intend, but I don't know how much content I'll actually have. And that's going to be it for today for Coffee and MTG. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thanks for all the super chats. But if I didn't get your comments, questions, or deck list, hey, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you'd love to support the channel and you don't do so already, you could always drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can become a patron at patreon.com, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. It was an interesting day, nonetheless. It was a nice mix of magic, non-related magic, and so on. You never know what we're going to talk about on Coffee and MTG. So keep brewing up those coffees, coffee crew, and we'll keep brewing up the magic.